Hello guys, my name is Michael, and today we are going to continue with labels, and today we learn 3 new functions, or maybe 6 if we can call them, because it is about set and get. The first 3 are GTK-label set line wrap, the second one is line wrap mode, and the third one is the justified. Same things happen with after you set it, you can get those 3 lines, and you can find information about things which already are there or not, and so on. Okay, we are going to start with the first function, with the GTK-label set line wrap, and I already prepared it here. Says GTK-label set line wrap says toggles line wrapping within the GTK-label widget. True makes it break lines if the text exceeds the widget size. False lets the text get cut off by the edge of the widget if it exceeds the widget size. Okay, let's see what this means. Okay, we go back to our program. We have our label. I will run it just to see that it's nothing special. It's just label like in the last tutorial, so nothing more. Now watch. I will the line wrap needs 2 parameters. Says the first one is our label and the second one is the setting. So GTK label, our label, and the second one is true or false. I will say it to true. Now let me set it to false at the beginning. I want to show you something. As you can see, there is no difference, nothing changed. Maybe you think that's changed something. I'll set it now to true. Watch this. Let's see if something happens. Nope, nothing happens. So let's make a bigger text this time, like for example that big. It should be enough. Okay, I'll run the program now again. Now watch. As you can see, watch how the text goes now up here. You see this part? So this is the line wrapping. Okay, and what this means, to make you better understand, is that it will be the whole text, as no matter how long it is, as long as it fits here, it will be a line. If not, it will make it so that it fits to pass or to fit inside this label. As you can see here, we have an empty space also here because the word doesn't fit anymore here. So this is the line wrap. While I'm talking, I want to show you something. For example, if I go now to hello or hello, I put an is here just to show you the different. Now I go back. Now I make it smaller. As you can see, now I have 3 words here because it fits, and so on, and then goes proceeds down to the next lines until the whole text is inside. There's one very important thing which I want to talk with you, but before we proceed with this, I want to show you something. So we have to go to the next function. So I will comment out this function for now. I will exit here. So next function says GTK-label set line wrap mode. Line wrap mode means if line wrapping is on, GTK-label set line wrap, we already saw this function. This controls how the line wrapping is done. The default is bongo wrap word, which is enumeration. So as you can see here, there are 3: wrap word, char, and word and char. This means this is 0, 1, and 2. Okay, so now let's call this function, see what happens. So like it said, I will call the function. As you we seen there are 2 there are two parameters. The first one is the GTK-label and the second one is the line wrapping mode. Okay, now I'm going to copy the GTK-label to not write it again, and we have those three modes as we seen here. The first one is wrap word, which says wrap lines at word boundaries. So I will copy this, I will throw it here, and then I will run the program, and we will see what happens. As you can see, nothing happens. Of course, nothing happens. This means you should remember that the function said, I go back, the function said if line wrapping is on, so we need to make it on. This means I need to comment out this function to be true so that we can work with this function, because without calling this function, the line wrap mode function, it doesn't work. I will run the program again, just watch. Now watch this, you see, now it's working, but you see no much difference, there is no too much difference now. Okay, I will show you something just in a moment. Let's see a little bit more. There was the same like before, 3 was here, another 3 here, 2, 2 and 1. So there is nothing here which you can notice. Okay, let's use the second one, this one. The third one is just a combination of both. So this time a wrap char. I will run the program again. Let's see what happens. So as you can see, when I go now, when I minimize the window, or when I pull it from right to left, you will see on the second line here that it will come only one char at a time. So watch, you see, yes. So this is the line wrapping mode chart. You see. Okay, now there is something important before we proceed. As you can see, let me run it again. The program hangs here. This is, so I cannot do nothing here. This means this is the smallest size which I can get here. The same happens here. This is the smallest size. So this means at this point our program looks like this, and this is the memory which was requested for this. Why this happens and what make it different is, let's go back where we were creating our window, and as you can see, I said GTK widget set size request, and this size, which is of 200 it is request, and the window size, the minimum window size, it is the size you requested. So this is not the size which the Windows has, it is the size which you requested, and it is also the minimum. Okay, I will comment out this part, and I will just call the regular, like a lot of you maybe are used to call GTK window set default size, and not GTK widget set size request like I did. And as you can see, we have called this function, and also with the same size of 200 like here. Now let me see, when I run the program you will see something. Watch. So this is very important thing for you guys. You see this? Now the window is very big. I didn't change nothing. I only called this function. This time call it GTK window set size default instead of set size request, and somehow looks messy. Why is this window so big, and why should I have it so big? I mean, I don't need it. Well, that happens because when we choose here to work with those functions like set line wrap and set line wrap mode, let me switch them, yes, then we request a memory enough to fit to those let's say characters, which in this case because of Pango rapture we were requesting. So what happens, GTK just give you the size, the maximum size which needs your widget, in our case our window, for this program. What this means, watch, you see where the text here is, so you see this part. Now when I pull the window from the right side to the left side, you will see that all this text goes from up and down. Watch, you see this? Bam! As you can see, here is the whole text, and because the text is so long, it needs so much space or room for doing this. So this is the thing which you can create. So remember, if you need to, for some reason, to print your text on your label like this, then the call of GTK widget set size request is not the thing you need, and the GTK window sets default size it is. I'm not sure if you need it in something like that, because it looks it's not what you need, I'm sure, but anyway, it's here. I wanted to show you just to be clear about what happens if you call GTK window set default size, or what happens if you call GTK widget size request, because as you can see here, I comment out again, and we will run this time the widget set size request, and as you can see, okay, as you can see now, the minimum size, it is the size which needs. So you see here it is enough big from here to here to fit the whole text, and here, as you can see, the size, it is only the size which was requested. So in this case, watch, you see, so maybe in cases like this, I mean, at least in cases like this, it is something you will need. So this is the reason why the size, you see how big is now the window, it's a little bit bigger because the text was longer. Watch what happens if the text is more longer or much bigger. So let me run like 2 times. Watch now what happens, just to make sure. You see the window is the same, it's here bigger, and your text, it fits here, but it's coming out. You see where the text is? This happens because it doesn't really fit here inside the way you thought it should be. So you can fix it with a size. Okay, so that being said, this is the thing which you'll probably need. And then after the next thing I want to show is the GTKLabel set justify, which says it's a function which returns void. It needs your label and also a GTK justification. GTK justification type. If you go here inside, you will see there are 4 things left. The text is placed at the left edge, the text on the right, the center, and distribute across the label. Okay, so let's see. Let's call this function. I will call it here, and the first parameter is our label. The second parameter, it is one of these for enumeration. I will choose this time left. Okay, I'll run the program the way it is, and you will see something. You see, here there is nothing different from what you thought maybe it is. Yes, because the text is only a 1-line text. So to have it just to have it like the function works and so on, just you need the text with more lines. This means I will put here a new line character. I put another one here, for example, and another one, let's say here. Now watch, when I run the program now, because I said GTK justify left, you see the whole text here, it's sitting on the left side, and here this space is not important because you said that you want or you need this text to start from the left. This happens that happens with the center also in a different way. This means this time when I run the program, every possible line will stay in the middle. You see the space here is the same with the space here, same happens here, the same space here you find it here too. So this is just the way how you want to display your text. Same happens with the right also, and so on with the fill and so on. This means now, as you can see, the text is on the right side. Okay, now for a second let me put it in the center. Let me compile it, and now we have those three functions. Once we set in those three are GTKLabel get line wrap. Let me close this one because we don't need it anymore. This one we don't need it also. We don't need it. Justify will let it. I think we will need it anyway. GTKLabel get line wrap says it's a boolean. That being said, you can print it, or you can save it into a variable, or you can do something more clever. For example, you remember this function said it works only if this one is true. So this means you can work with a condition like this, and this line happens 100% if and only if your GTKLabel get line wrap returns true. It will work. If not, it will not work. So let me check it to see for sure. If I go here, yes, it works fine. Anyway, okay, the next one is the GTKLabel get line wrap. It is a Pango wrap mode. One thing you need to know, you're going to see a lot of things about this Pango library. I strongly suggest you to search on internet about this library because it's a very, very powerful library, and you will definitely need it, or you will need to work with this library. We're not going to talk today about it because it makes no object of our tutorial, but I want to just to point to that it's very important, this Pango library for GTK, or at least you can get a lot of information useful to create your GTK applications. Okay, that being said, says here GTKLabel get line wrap mode. Okay, so I will copy this line because I don't want to write it again. I will throw it here. Okay, and I will say wrap, and then you can print it. G print wrap is, because it is an enumeration, you already know that, but you don't know which one is. We already know that there are three of them, 0, 1, 2. This means char has to be, I think it was the second one, I don't know. Expecting GTKLabel, yes, of course, sorry guys. Okay, this is very important. Let me show you something. Let me cast the label like the C style, like this one. What do you think it happens here? Let's see. Let me run the program. Of course, the program works fine. The wrap is 1 because it is 1. The word is 0. The char, like here, is 1, and the word and char word, I know how it was exactly. I think word and char, yeah. This one is 2. So if I run it now, you'll see. You already know that enumeration starts from 0 if you don't explicit give number. Okay, now why do I not cast my widgets like this? I mean, this is the C style, this is a C casting style. I mean, everyone casts things like this. Well, there's a difference. Casting like this in GTK with the help of these macros helps you in the let's say runtime mode. It helps you to check if the widget which you are passing here, it is the right one, and you get a warning, and by casting it you can get a warning. Don't expect it, but you can get a segment fault, or I don't know which and how many worse things could happen. Let me see if I pass this time the window here to the GTK label. You see, I'm just casting to the right pointer, the way how the GTKLabel get line wrap mode expects. So expects the GTKLabel pointer. I'm casting to it, but I'm casting a window which is not a label. What do you think it happens? You see, it compares fine, and bam, GTKLabel assertion, GTKLabel failed, wrap is 0. So we have an error. I don't know. Let's see what happens if we are casting this time with a GTK macro window instead of label, but this time with GTKLabel macro. As you can see, invalid cast from GTK window to GTKLabel. You see, the program catched this. So this is why you should always, and I mean always, cast your widgets with these macros like GTKLabel here, and not with the GTKLabel like C style. You see, like here, because if I'm going to cast it like this, I get only problems, but I don't know where's the problem. It's okay. Here says that's assertion, because this function makes an assertion and checks, and you notice that it's something wrong with the label, because it expects a label, but if it's not that precise. I mean, GTK's label failed. So this means the label is something's wrong with this label, but we don't know exactly what's wrong with the labels. So to avoid this, to be more precise about what exactly happens there, you cast it with the right macro, and then you get up here invalid cast from GTK window to GTKLabel, so you know exactly where the problem is. So please don't cast your widgets or anything else in GTK with let's say cast C from the C language, C cast style. Use GTK style, which covers this runtime checking, which is very important. You need to know if at a runtime when something goes wrong, what exactly it happens. If not, then have fun with your debugger and all of those problems to find what exactly and where went wrong. Okay, that being said, the last function which we have it here, it is GTKLabel get justify, which is a justification. Okay, this means we need to declare as justification. Okay, so we will do it here. Here is the function. So GTK justification, let's say justification. Okay, and then we are going to call the function which we needed, this one, and the specs also the label. I will pass it here, and now we know that there are 4, I think. Yeah, there are 4, 0, 1, 2 and 3. So now we know that is center it is 2, but we don't know. So programmatically we need to check if the center is center or is left or is right. So let's see, g print justify. It's okay, it is, because we don't know. So we let our program to see if it's 0, 1, 2, 3 has to be 2. If it is everything okay, you see justify is 2, wrap is 2. Okay, so this is basically everything you need to know about these functions, and I'm sure now that you understand them and you know how to work with them. You know that by calling this function you set the mode to true or false. This comes handy for this function, because without setting this function to true, this function has no meaning, and by setting this one to true, then you can set your wrap mode, which we already saw here. It is word char and so on, and we already saw what happens if you set your window with GTK window set default size, or what happens if you set you create your window size with GTK we just set size request. So just play with both all the time when you create an application, just to be sure which one you need it. If you don't understand for sure what's the difference between them, I strongly suggest you to search on the references and read about them, and then you will understand them better. We're talking about GTK justify, where the text has to be here on the left, center, or at the right side, like here. This is very important thing to display your text, so it's coming to help you. And then of course we found out if we have a true set it here or not. We found out here which mode was set, and also we found out here which justify was set to. That being said, I think we covered everything, at least almost everything we need to know about those 6 functions. Until next time, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe and share with your friends and neighbors, and until next time, see you guys.